Welcome back to the channel, welcome to the video, and today we're going to be talking about what I would say is the best investment you will ever make in your life. Yeah, I mean that's dramatic, but it's true. This could potentially be fairly controversial, but I don't really care. Probably thinking, what are you talking about, Ross? What app is it? What am I going to invest in? Tell me, where do I give my money? But it's not that simple, obviously. If you see my channel, you'll know that I love to look into ways to make money on the side, whether it's a side hustle, whether it's investing in different apps and different opportunities there. So it's not that I'm against that. I love that. That's kind of my bag. And if you haven't seen that, like, click somewhere and you'll probably see them. Because obviously the goal is to get to financial freedom. And what do I mean by financial freedom? Now, you can ask many different people, and their vision or their views of financial freedom might be slightly different, but mine is to be able to afford the lifestyle that I would like to lead without being tied to a desk. So my money is not tied to my time. So arguably I don't sell my time directly for money. That buys me the ability to do whatever I would like to do within reason based on what I can afford within my lifestyle. That for me is financial freedom. I'm like buying my time back, essentially. So when I tell you what the best investment you'll ever make is, you think, well, how is that going to help with what you've just described? But it really does. Like, controversially, it really does. And this channel isn't about not working, not putting in the graft. It's about doing exactly that. But for me, it's all about making sure that you use your time effectively, or you use your money effectively to get you to those goals when you want to get to them. It's not about not working. It's not about taking the easy route. It takes time and consistency. One of the biggest things, whether it's growing an audience, whether it's, doing whatever, this whole channel for me, your whole career, your future wealth, it all requires both time and consistency. There are no, believe it or not, whatever you see on the internet, there are no get rich quick schemes. It just isn't a reality of the world. You might see the odd one, but you won't then see the tens of thousands of people that fail doing the exact same thing. So there are no get rich quick schemes to make your life simple and easy. It takes hard work and consistency. But no one really wants to hear that. They don't want to hear that you have to actually do this over a number of years. They just want to hear, what can I do now to make more money and make my life easier? Which is, it's bullshit, really.
What did you say?
A lot of the things I look at on here, whether I'm testing a side hustle, whatever it might be, I'll say, is it worth your time? And often I'll say, no, it's not. Because that's the key point. It's that trade-off of time and what is the most effective use for your time. So what is the best investment you can ever make? It's very simple. It's investing in yourself. And that may seem like such, whatever, that's bull. It's not, and I'll tell you exactly why. It goes against the whole, we're trying to escape the rat race, we're trying to get that freedom. So people think it's not where they want to be, it's not what they want to do, and it's not the thing that they're pushing towards. But it can help you get there. And it completely depends on the situation. So I'll give one scenario. If you're someone on 25,000 a year and you're trying to get to that point of financial freedom, and you're spending all of your extra time outside of your job to try and earn more, or try and invest, or trying to do side hustles that are making you very little extra, then that time versus money trade-off could quite easily be put into investing in yourself. And again, that really depends on your current position, your current job. And I'd love to hear in the comments, let me know your current position, and I'd love to know and try and help where you would go next, or what you could do to maximize your income. So if you're there scraping together, doing these side hustles, earning a tiny bit more per month, the time that you spend doing that could easily double your salary in learning something new, upskilling what you're doing, basically becoming better either in that current job you're at or to try and get another one. And again, it isn't this glamorous thing where it's like, you're still in the corporate world, and don't get me wrong, I would love to escape the corporate world, but that's mainly because I feel I have maximized my potential earnings through that. If I personally was going to try and get more and more money, the difficulty for me is that I would lose that trade-off between time and money. So it's going to be very hard. I'm lucky enough, I say lucky, I've put in a lot of work to get to where I am in my career, that any extra on top of this would lead to a lot less time and not that much more money. But when you're working from a lower place, you have so many more positions that you can move into. I 10x'd my salary when I was 25, 23, something like that. in just 2 years, but I spent every waking hour investing in myself, leveling up so I could do that. But that's not glamorous. It doesn't fit into the solopreneur, you know, the hacker build, the building public side of things where people like to do their own stuff. It doesn't fit into that narrative, so it's not something that people generally like to hear. But if you're investing 25% of your income, or say 20%, whatever it might be, whatever that percentage is that you're investing for your financial future, if you're doing it from 25 grand versus 150 grand, who do you think is going to get there quicker? It's just simple maths. And it doesn't necessarily have to just be in that career. It doesn't necessarily have to be maximizing that. It could be getting some more experience, taking on new things, learning new skills to be able to then do more, to be able to launch that side hustle. But a lot of people don't have that grounding in the first place to be able to do that. So they try and do these things without the skills. You can see from some of my side hustle stuff, especially demonstrating like print on demand. I'm like, dude, it doesn't work. But the people that have actually made it work dedicate their time to upskill themselves so that they can make that a success. They will basically invest in themselves to be able to get as much out of that as they can. And everyone's got this follow your passion, which is great. I love doing what I do here because I find it massively fulfilling. It gives me all of the things I don't get from my corporate job, which is great. And I'd love to do it full time. But I'm doing it from a position of I have the money coming in, which I can invest. So for me, that is a much stronger position to do it in than not. So I chose to maximize my cash flow and income before I tried to find something that was more fulfilling. One of the things that trips everyone, including me, up, and I think I've mentioned it in a video before, is lifestyle creep. So lifestyle creep is when you start earning more money, you start spending more money, and that's just not needed. You don't need to. It depends on where you want to see a lifestyle, but the problem with that is as you up and up your lifestyle, you pull back the amount that you can invest or the amount that you can put forward for your future. So you really have to look at that trade-off. Sure, we want to go on a holiday, but at the same time, do you want that versus retiring 10 years earlier? So you have to make sure that you look at that and see that trade-off that's there. Again, it's time versus money, 100%. And I'm not saying don't start your own thing. I love starting my own things. In fact, I've probably got a bit of a problem with it. But if you're looking as a young person to try and maximize that money, there isn't anything wrong with maximizing what you can earn in a job. It's not a bad thing as well. It seems to have this stigma, and I, for one, probably help push this forwards. Because it isn't glamorous, and the corporate world can be fairly soul-destroying, but it can be used as a tool, which I think it's a fairly good one at that. But you have to consider the options on the other side as well. But if you're going to start your own thing and put your whole life into it, you have to consider that can take even longer. But again, that's still investing in yourself, but the payoff is a lot longer on that than it would be if you're on 25 grand and you're trying to get to 50 grand. I think that is a lot more obtainable in a short space of time versus the long term starting something of your own and maybe not even seeing profitability within 5 years, maybe more. You know, so it's all about that balance. So if you were a fairly young person looking to try and get to that financial freedom as early as possible, you don't want to be retiring when you're 70, 75. Look at the best time versus money when it comes to what you are doing. So if you're putting a side hustle in, any of the things that I'm doing, the things that I'm showing, the apps and everything like that, you have to look at how much time it takes versus what you could be doing with that time. Invest that time in yourself, and that will yield dividends. That will yield crazy amount more than some of this extra just stuff on the side. So if you're doing it from a place of good cash flow, great, try new things. But if there is a better use of your time to maximize your income, 100% do that. I was speaking to someone the other day and telling them about all the things I'm doing on the side, and it brings in little bits of money per month. And they said, oh, I could really do with that. And I thought, well, over the year, it's really not that much. I don't earn much through this at all at the moment. Maybe one day it will yield more, but right now I don't earn a lot. I maybe earn about 3,000 this entire 2022, which isn't a huge amount. For some it will be massive, but from where I'm at, that's not a huge amount. But it takes a hell of a lot of my time. and I said to them, to earn that 3,000, the effort that you have to put in, it would be way better to push for the promotion that you can get in your work. That could potentially yield you 20,000. And you're already doing that. It just takes you to think about it in a different way. So a lot of people at that point, they think, well, I could push for a promotion or push for getting another job that's the next level up, and that could yield me 20,000 a year more. Or I could start this one thing that will take me a lot more time than that, but it won't yield me anywhere near as much. So whenever you make these decisions, it always has to be a calculated one. It's all a strategy. For me, all of this is like a game of chess. It's working out where to place each bit that makes sense. Like I said, this isn't my normal. I'm not looking at any sort of way to do it other than where I think it's one of the most important things, especially for people looking to make more money. I think this is something that's completely underrated and people don't value how much this can have an impact on your future. Like I said before, drop me a comment, let me know where you are in your careers as well, what you're up to. I'd love to understand where you are, what your journey is, and all of those sorts of things. I'd love to give my advice or any words of wisdom I potentially can that I have, and share my journey with you. If you've enjoyed this one, drop me a like, share with anyone, again, including your nan. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.